Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. Welcome to our Earth Day experience as well. We have lots of wonderful music and a beautiful message for you today. Catherine Mandella on all that. We've got Anne and Laurie and Becky with us today, and Soul Light Connection.
You're in the right place at the right time, just where you're meant to be. Let's sing about it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I heard that. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Reverend Christine is giving the message. Yes, I said Reverend Christine. And Reverend Rick, planet Earth, location, location, location. At the right time, I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is, oh, my soul is, and I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul. Oh, you know you're welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I said you're welcome here. Yes.
Happy Earth Day, SLC. Well, I have happy feet for a reason. Peg, could you stand up a second? Yeah, embarrassed. She is now a permanent resident of Greater Sacramento. You know, and I had an interesting experience. I was away in Los Angeles for a few days, flying back and then driving back from the airport, seeing the gold-painted bridge, and I was on J Street, and just having that feeling, Sacramento, I've really come home. And so it's good. And I also want to report that God has given up trying to invent an instrument that Catherine can't play. Reverend Christine, it's so good to see you back on the platform.
Oh, it's good to be here with you, Reverend Rick. And good morning, everybody. Welcome, and we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy, and in the warm and loving energy of our spiritual family, Spiritual Life Center. And here at SLC, we honor all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and in the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that God is everywhere present. So we especially welcome you, and if this is your first time joining us, online or in person, we know that you are not here by accident, but by
divine appointment.
So if you could please silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography. It's tricky to say that during the service.
And today's daily word is friendly. The affirmation is, I greet others with a friendly and open heart. The Bible contains many stories that encourage hospitality toward strangers. For instance, Jesus welcomed everyone to his ministry, from the hungry to the sick, strangers, and social outcasts. He loved unconditionally. The same loving energy is within me. When I greet others with a friendly smile, I am sharing one of the great lessons that Jesus taught. I am expanding my world and giving myself the chance to learn and to grow. If I feel hesitant meeting new people, I remember how it felt to be welcomed by friendly people when I went to a new school, a job, or church, or a town. I was grateful for those people who extended themselves in friendship to me. These memories inspire me to be friendly now. And from that great passage from the Gospel according to Matthew, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Today's daily word is friendly. Dear Spirit, thank you for that peace, that joy, that friendliness that is inside of us. Thank you for this planet Earth. As Carl Sagan said, this beautiful pale blue dot with so much wonder and so much joy. Help us to be good stewards of this planet. Thank you for SLC, this incredible spiritual community with a powerful message, not just for Sacramento, but for the world beyond. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And we also say our mission statement, not because it's boilerplate or something like that. We say these words truly to remind ourselves of who we've come here to be. Let's say it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we remind ourselves of these 5 key unity principles, which, I wish life were the good ship lollipop. It's not. A lot of times we do face those, where the rubber meets the road and those potholes. And these principles truly can help us to be overcomers. Let's say them together. God is absolute good everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. And we must take action. And Reverend Christine, so much is going on around here.
I know. We always have so much to choose from. We're so fortunate. So let's talk about our Wow Wednesdays. We start with the Oneness Prayer Circle with our fabulous chaplains. And then there's a community meal. And if you'd like to attend that, we'd love to have you there. But please RSVP so the food team knows how much to make.
And also, then following on Wednesday, we will have the second Ken Daigle class on unapologetic manifestation, Wednesday, April 22nd at 7. It's in person and on Zoom. Registration will close after April 22nd. We have tiered pricing. Scholarships are available due to the generosity of a sponsor. And as the Beatles said, we can work it out. So come on to the hub and we'll work it out for you to be there, because we're trying to get as many people as possible to come to this really important class.
Yes, and then next week we have our annual meeting, and we will be electing 2 new Board of Trustee members, and we'll have our very important financial report and other updates on our Board of Trustee activities. Also, for your planning purposes, there will be a light lunch available for a love offering after the second service.
And next Friday, April 24th at 7 p.m. is movie night. We're going to be showing Midnight in Paris, that wonderful rom-com. There will be snacks, love offering basis. So please come on down next Friday, 7 p.m. for Midnight in Paris. And Paula, I hear a wonderful concert is coming our way.
Friday, May 1st. Drum roll. Oh, come on, Catherine. There we go. Yes.
I
the
told you
fantastic-
couldn't find an instrument she couldn't play.
The fantastic vocalist Charles Holt will be visiting us, and we are going to have a fantastic concert with Soul Light Connection. You don't want to miss it. Tickets are on sale. They are going fast. We're well over halfway sold out. Well, or halfway sold. I guess you're not sold out till you're sold out. So be on that list. Go get your tickets today or online. It's going to be a wonderful evening, and we hope to see you all there.
And we've been on a roll, really. Anne's concert sold out. The Passover Seder sold out. This probably will sell out too. So if you're thinking of coming, get your tickets now. A community update with Karen Fujikawa.
Good morning. I'm here to talk about interfaith connections. And, you know, our family moved to this area about 30 years ago, and for the first few years, we went to all kinds of different churches, lots of churches, until one day I was sitting on our couch reading an actual newspaper, you know, the paper kind, and I saw this article. It was a long article about SLC, and Michael Moran, the founding member, founding father of our group, he was quoted as talking about many paths, one God. And when I saw that, I just said to my husband, we have found our church. That is it. And we have been here for the last, 26 years, something like that. So interfaith has been an integral part of this church from the very beginning. Those of us who have been around for a while remember in 2012 when we lost our lease to the church that we had been meeting in, Pioneer, and Easter was coming up, and we didn't have an obvious place that we were going to go to have our service. And Michael had this dream, and he followed through on his dream and called the imam at the Salam Center. And Easter services were held at the Salam Center that year. It made national news. That is not a normal thing that happened, but it was on the strength of Reverend Michael's connections that he had made in the interfaith community. And so we are we are continuing that. Fast forward to today, 42 of us lucky people get to go to the Buddhist temple very close and have a meal over there and get to know them a little bit. As time went on, Reverend Dave and his wife Rachel took up the cause of interfaith, and they did lots of things here. And in fact, Rachel, their podcast is still up. If you go to the SLC web page, you can click on it and still hear some of her interfaith podcasts that are there. And Reverend Dave is going to be speaking here on May 17th. So put that on your calendars. And then, we have Wow Wednesdays where different things are happening, including coming up, I'm not sure exactly the date, but Dances of Universal Peace and other things also. But the exciting thing I want to share with you today is that Reverend Rick is going to be starting this a series, a Sunday talk, and here's the name of it, Unity and World Religions. And it's going to be a major series which will include Sunday messages, people coming from other spiritual traditions to SLC to talk, and SLC people getting to go visit places of other spiritual traditions. And, I feel like it's so important when we do that. It opens our hearts to other ways of being and thinking and believing, for one thing, and it enriches our spiritual path also. Not that we are going to jump ship and go somewhere else, but it just is an enriching part of our spiritual journey. So mark that on your calendars. June 14th, we're going to be starting this exciting new series, and details will follow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. We're blessed for so many reasons, but another reason we're so blessed, I see Reverend Janae is in the house.
So as you just heard, there are many things that foster transformation here. We also have our prayer chaplains. Our prayer is a great opportunity for that transformation, and they're available to pray with you in the courtyard after service. You can also check out our weekly small group and other offerings. What's happening information is now in the lobby foyer. So you can also go to the hub for information or online. And now, let's take a moment to greet each other in the way that you're most comfortable with love and respect.
Please be seated. So speaking of interfaith, if you recall, that song was written for one of our Faith in Action books based on the Ruiz brothers' work. And that song expresses the Toltec creation story. And now, we're going to prepare for meditation by speaking our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center, a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
And part of our mission statement is all about loving and serving and remembering. Please join us in singing this beautiful chant that reinforces that statement. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? To love, to serve, and to remember. Please join us in singing.
I'd like to invite you to gently close your eyes or soften your gaze and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and hold, and then exhale softly through your mouth. And then again, a long, slow breath in through your nose, holding at the top, and then an even longer exhale through your mouth, releasing any tension in your body. And let's bring our attention to our body. Notice the crown of your head. Relax your face. And open your heart of hearts. Now imagine that your body is not just solid, but as a field of energy, vibrating, alive, interconnected, every cell gently humming with life. And become aware of the space within your body and the space around your body. For there is no clear boundary, only one continuous field, and everything is energy. Now imagine that your awareness expands beyond your physical form, for you are more than your body. You are a field of consciousness, a field that extends outward in all directions. Sense this field surrounding you. It's like a gentle, luminous sphere that pulses with subtle energy. And in this space, time softens and separation dissolves. You are entering a state of quantum connection where everything is interconnected, where everything communicates. Rest here for a moment, noticing and sensing. Now bring your awareness to the earth beneath you, visualizing roots of energy extending from your body down through the floor into the soil, deep into the heart of our beautiful planet. Feel the richness of the earth, alive, vibrant, conscious. Sense the vast network of life, trees, plants, oceans, animals, all part of one unified field. Now imagine the earth itself as a living, breathing being, for she is, surrounded by her own energetic field. A vast, coherent, intelligent presence. And allow your personal energy field to gently connect with the earth's field. Like two waves meeting and merging and harmonizing. Feel the resonance, the coherence. You are not separate from the earth. You are an expression of it. And every breath you take is shared with the forests. Every drop of water in your body has flowed through rivers and oceans. Just feel this connection. And be aware that this connection is reciprocal. And as you send awareness and appreciation to the earth, she responds, perhaps with a feeling of warmth, stability, nourishment, or quiet support. And allow yourself to receive this gift. And now, from this connected state, bring a simple intention into your awareness. It may be a feeling such as harmony, healing, balance, or gratitude. let your intention arise naturally. And then imagine it as a frequency moving through your energy field and into the earth's field as an offering. And feel the coherence between you and the planet, knowing that you are co-creating and resonating together. And let's take a moment to rest in this shared field of intention, in the oneness. And bringing your awareness back to your breath, gently deepen your inhale and soften your exhale. And feel your body once again, the weight of it, the surface beneath you, wiggling your fingers and toes, and knowing that this connection to the earth is always available to you, for you are never separate. Thank you, God.
There are spiders making silky castles. There are bears with kingdoms in their eyes. They say we'll find our treasure on the day we realize the earth can turn 1,000 miles an hour, and we fly with it every day. And if we knew how far we were going, we might just know one day how to walk lightly on the world and take each step like the first. How to walk lightly on the world, on the world.
Thank you to our music ministry, Karen. Karen, thank you for a wonderful community update. And Reverend Christine, it's so good to see you back up on the platform. And so we come to Earth Day, which will be celebrated this Wednesday, April 22nd. I was fortunate to have several personal life events which very early on showed me the importance of these environmental issues that Earth Day is trying to center on. And so three experiences which I'd like to share with you. The first, which left a major impact on me, was the town I grew up in. I grew up in a town called Port Washington, New York, which was on the north shore of Long Island, roughly around 30 miles outside of Manhattan. We had several what we thought were claims to fame. One of them was Perry Como. Perry Como was, believe it or not, he was a barber, ran a barber shop. Speaking of friendly, from the Daily Word, he had such a friendly manner and a beautiful voice. People suggested he get into show business. He followed their advice, and as I say, the rest is history. He stayed in Port Washington, moved. I'll show you where the wealthy part of town was. But I met him several times, and what you saw on camera, that was the real Perry Como. What you saw is what he really, honestly, truly was. Our second claim to fame was this gentleman who's coming up there. That is F. Scott Fitzgerald. No, he wasn't born in Port Washington, but he was a Midwesterner. But when he came to live in the New York area, he lived in our neck of the woods, and he wrote a major novel, which a large part of it was centered in our town of Port Washington, and that novel was and is The Great Gatsby. Remember about, and if I could stick my 2 cents in, I think probably the greatest American novel, obviously, is Huck Finn by Mark Twain. But the second one, I wouldn't give to Herman Melville and Moby Dick. I would give to The Great Gatsby for a whole range of reasons. Remember Jay Gatsby? It's the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties, and he's a bootlegger or has underworld connections. Supposedly, he was the one who fixed the 1919 World Series, and he's throwing incredible parties from his mansion. So if we could go to the next one, which is a map of the area. So the three peninsulas, that big hunk on the far right, that's Roslyn and Glen Cove, and you didn't get into the novel. So there, I mean, the second peninsula, the middle peninsula, that is Port Washington. Looking almost like a dragon leaning over. And the third one, the smaller one, is Great Neck. And in the book, Great Neck is East Egg, Port Washington is West Egg, and out on the end, Jay Gatsby had his mansion where he held all those parties, and he would look over at East Egg, where the love of his life, Daisy Buchanan, lived, the forbidden fruit and all that, and rich story. So if we could go to the next one, this is supposedly the estate which Fitzgerald used to measure and to model the Gatsby mansion. It still exists, and as a matter of fact, believe it or not, I have a connection to it. Very humble, but anyway, as you can see, there's a gatehouse where the chauffeur lived. One of my English professors, Mr. Bocard, lived there. And every other Sunday afternoon, we would get we were the three editors, the three stooges, as it were, the editors of the high school newspaper. We would go out there and meet in the gatehouse, and we'd put the paper to bed. It was also the place where, from Mr. Bocard, I learned about Flannery O'Connor and Everything Rises Must Converge, and James Joyce and The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. And also, don't get Mr. Bocard in trouble. It's where I learned about Lady Chatterley's Lover. So after World War II, the suburbanization of Long Island, and particularly Port Washington too, that's my childhood home. as I say, it got suburbanized after the war. And we lived, one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is because we lived on a street called Cliff Way. And there were a lot of cliffs in Port Washington, because the next picture will show why. There was the Sand and Gravel Company. The sand and gravel, which was used to make concrete, a lot of the concrete that made New York came from the Sand and Gravel Company in Port Washington. They would come in and just just literally rip the land and leave it that way. And, we didn't have snow avalanches, we had sand avalanches. And one in particular where, several kids were hurt. Fortunately, they didn't die. My father became the lawyer for one of the families, as a matter of fact, my father was a great crusading lawyer. He did a lot of pro bono work for labor unions, for the NAACP. But my favorite case that he ever had was against suing Elvis Presley. He had a client who claimed that Elvis Presley stole All Shook Up from him, and it was settled out. It was settled out of court, very, very nicely. This case was also, with the kid, was settled out of court very nicely. But in the process of doing this, my father and several other lawyers discovered that there were laws on the books where the Sand and Gravel Company was supposed to pay into a fund to reconstitute the land. And they were supposed to do certain things, which if they had paid maybe 25 cents on the dollar of what they owed, that was a lot. And this went all the way up, and my father, it was a class action suit, they won. And the Sand and Gravel Company was forced, no longer could you just do this kind of desecration to the land, you had to restore it. But I got to tell you, this was also a great victory, Kalu Kalay, but I learned that these issues can be a little more complex. Roughly around 2 years after the victory in court, the Sand and Gravel Company shut down. They moved their operations to areas, another part of the world which they felt they could get away with this, and continued doing it. Several of my friends, their daddies lost their jobs in the mines. And it was also a lot less money pumped into Port Washington. Interesting background. Now, my second, life, which really got to these environmental issues, centered around this wonderful man, if we could switch that. This is Professor Robert Heilbrenner. I had the good fortune of studying economics under Professor Heilbrenner. He's probably was most famous, if we could go to the next one, a book which I would highly recommend called The Worldly Philosophers. It's very well written. It looks at the life and times and thoughts of the great economists such as Adam Smith, Karl Marx, John Maynard Keynes, et cetera, et cetera. And several of you have asked me, Reverend Rick, how could you have studied something so boring and dull as economics? Well, you know what? Under Robert Heilbrenner, I didn't know that economics was dull and boring. It just came alive. He had that way of teaching. And I always remember this was the early 1970s, and he came in to class with the look of the world on his shoulders and all this. And what's the matter? Well, he said, I'm working on a project on something called global warming. I had never heard of it. Again, 1970s, few had heard. Global warming and the greenhouse gas effect, and and if we do not change, this is what we're going to. We have some time, but unless we change, and then he started going through this. Well, you know what? I mean, we haven't changed enough. I mean, for example, Indonesia is the most populous Muslim country on the face of the earth. Its capital is Jakarta. There are 12 million people living in the city of Jakarta. Jakarta is quickly sinking totally underwater. And if you go a little further out, besides just the city limits, as it were, there are 32 million people in this statistical metropolitan area, all going underwater. To bring it closer to home, the town or city which I was born in, New York, a large portion will probably go underwater. And it was really brought home to me a few years ago. I wanted to show my daughters Rachel and Therese New York, and so I thought a good way would be, let's go on the Circle Line cruise around Manhattan. And as we left, the captain said, we may not be able to circle all the way around Manhattan because when you get to the Harlem River, because of the rise in sea levels, now we're not sure our ship can clear the bridges because of the rise in sea level. And it wasn't a particularly tall ship. We got there, he felt he could not clear. We had to back up and go around because of the rise because of the rise of global warming and the climate. Now, my third life experience, I also had the good fortune to be able to work for this person, if we could come up. No, not Johnny Carson, Carl Sagan. I had the good fortune of being a junior researcher with the Carl Sagan team. Let me explain how. I really want to explain how this happened. After I got my doctorate, I was very fortunate. I got a job working as an economist for the Congressional Research Service, which is part of the Library of Congress. It's like the think tank of Congress. I was doing work for the Senate Labor Committee, and the chairman at the time was Senator Strom Thurmond. I was called into his office one time, and we were talking. He looks at me, he says, son, let me see your library card. That's my library. Yeah, your Library of Congress library card. And so I showed it to him, and he looked at it, and he said, just as I was thinking, it's not grade A prime. We're going to have to change this and I don't need top clearance, Senator. Son, do not argue with me. Everybody who works for me goes first class. So here I had, I was able to get into the Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung papers, just showing the card, and they let, my God, it was all in German, so it didn't, but, I tried learning German, but it was so difficult because English, you could just talk and you don't have to know where you're going. There's so many declensions in German, you really have to know where you're going. So I was sitting there thinking, there should really be a dumbed down form of German. And then it dawned on me, there is, it's called English. But anyway, while Carl Sagan was studying billions and billions of stars, I was tasked with getting billions and billions of library books out of the system. And once a year we would go up to he would have us all go up to Cornell if we could go to the next one. And at that time, he was very interested in what was called astrobiology. And SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And I always remember a lecture, he gave us, and he said, ladies and gentlemen, the real estate agents say to you, location, location, location. Well, in astrobiology, it is truly location, location, location. If we were located in the center of a galaxy instead of on one of the arms, we would have so many dangerous things going on and so many black holes. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you step into but one black hole, it will ruin your entire day as you are stretched longer than an infinite string of spaghetti. But even on the arm of the Milky Way galaxy, location, location, location is so important. If you are too close to the sun or too close to your star, your DNA will have no time to play. If you are too far away from the sun, and this the really great scientist said, you will find that you are colder than a polar bear with a hula hoop. You are colder than a bucket of penguin poop. And so, the Goldilocks region, and, it's interesting because at that time we really didn't know. First, we have a much better handle, like in the Milky Way, how many stars there are. How many are located, is it unusual for a star to have planets? No, it's not that unusual. A lot of stars have planets. How reasonable is it? Are we in the Goldilocks region? Not too hot, not too cold. There are fewer planets which are there in that region, but they do exist. But he would then Sagan would have a way of talking about Earth as this pale blue dot, and that the beauty of what we have and the importance of what we have and the importance of stewardship. And, given that period, I remember coming away from all this with a positive feeling. Yes, there was the destruction of the sand pits and this and that and Jakarta and all this, but I had this feeling that somehow by the skin of our teeth we were going to make it. The skin of our teeth we were going to make it. 1970, the first Earth Day. The Environmental Protection Agency created in 1970. Congress passes the Clean Air Act of 1970. The Clean Water Act comes out in 1972. The Federal Environmental Pesticide Control Act, 1972. Endangered Species Act, 1973. Safe Drinking Water, 1974. Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act, 1977. National Forestry Management, 1976. And let me remind you of something. Most of those bills were signed into law by President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Yes, conservatives and liberals had disagreements on this, but they were able to all see that this was important and to reach compromises and to move forward. I became very active in a group called, and still am, a group called the Environmental Defense Fund, which believes very strongly that if you can, it really helps if you can get the economic incentives moving in the right direction. One of the things I was so amazed coming to California, at a red light, you'd look around and you would see 4 or 5 Teslas and other electrical vehicles. Believe me, you won't see that in a lot of other states. Most other Virginia, you'd have to go through 10 traffic lights before you saw that many electrical vehicles. Why? Because the incentives were created in such a way. We started to see agreements, the Tokyo Accord, the Kyoto Agreement in terms of global warming. It seemed like we were really making progress and headway. And then, it really has been 5 steps forward and 4 steps back. As I have said to a lot of friends who are back in Washington and very active in environmental stuff, boy, oh boy, it is 5 steps forward, and progress has always been 5 steps forward, 4 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. One of my friends said to me, Rick, stop it already. I wouldn't mind 5 steps forward and 4 steps back, but we've had 5 steps forward and 20 steps back. I mean, the sense of PTSD, as it were, of depression among so many folks in the environmental community is just incredibly palpable. But I think that all this still boils down to a spiritual side to these issues. A spiritual side to these issues, which center on location, location, location. The big question is, where is our spiritual consciousness located? Where is our spiritual consciousness located? We started a wonderful series on Reverend Ken Daigle's unapologetic manifestation. And as we will see when we're studying Ken's work, he says, you want something to manifest, expect that there will be roadblocks and obstacles. Just expect it, that there will be these things. And what Ken argues so strongly is that we need the quality of grit. We need the quality of grit. And Ken defines grit as the quality of perseverance and passion for the long-term goals, embodying what we are trying to determine and what we are trying to manifest. And that if we do not have that grit, then probably what we are trying to manifest will not take place. We have a connection, as many of you know, with Reverend Gary Simmons and Reverend Jane Simmons. We've been looking at integral ministry. One of the key thought leaders or philosophers who really has pushed this kind of integral thought is a wonderful man by the name of Ken Wilber. Has written many books, but one of my really had a big impact on me is a book he wrote called Grace and Grit. Grace and Grit, which quite frankly, is about his wife, his late wife, who contracted cancer and eventually made her transition. And going through that period, going through that, and ironically, eventually coming for Ken to come out even stronger, committed to certain things which he felt were incredibly important. I remember when I came to Virginia from New York. Several people linked me up with this elderly gentleman, an old Virginian, took me out to breakfast, and I ordered bacon and eggs. And so the bacon and eggs come to me, and then this white glop is also there with the bacon. And I pointed to it. I said, "What's this?" He said, "Well, Rick, them's grits." I said, "Grits?" But I didn't order it. He looked at me and said, "Rick, in this part of the country, grits is like grace. It just comes with the meal." And to look at that grits and that grace, my 11-year-old daughter, Therese, just a little while ago said, why does God allow these challenges to happen? Why do so many bad things happen to good people? And I don't think probably, that's in theological terms, it's the issue of what's called theodicy. Why do bad things happen to good people? I don't think anybody has come up with an answer which gets an A+, but I'm going to stick my 2 cents into it. One of the reasons I believe that this is the world we live in is because, quite frankly, Spirit does not want to be surrounded by a bunch of spiritual wimps and sunshine patriots who can only, say, praise the Lord, and isn't it wonderful when things are going their way. For people who have developed those roots that can show that grace and grit, when things are getting difficult. The Apostle Paul said, we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. The other interesting thing which I think is so important is that during these 4-step back periods, they are some of the most creative times when really creative thinking and creative action takes place. If you doubt that, we're here in a Unity community, Unity Center. How did Unity form? Well, essentially, it was the 1880s, and Myrtle Fillmore was told that she had an incurable disease, which at the time medical science couldn't do anything about, and she probably was going to die in 6 months. I hope they told it with a little bedside manner or whatever, but that's essentially what she was told. Boy, oh boy, if that isn't a 4-step back period, take that one in. And yet that was the time when Myrtle had her quantum spiritual breakthrough. One of my heroes, in United Way we used to call women like this sheroes, is Rachel Carson. Rachel Carson was the biologist and the author of Silent Spring. Yes, if we could put up the next one. Silent Spring, that incredible book which talked about what we were doing through DDT and other pesticides to the land, creating a Silent Spring. It came out in 1962. Boy, oh boy, talk about not facing the good ship lollipop. Rachel Carson had to face a well-funded campaign by chemical companies to discredit her work. They said it was unscientific. They threatened legal action against her and her publisher. As I say, it was attacked as unscientific. It was called an attack, again, this during the Cold War, an attack on American prosperity and technology. And being said by communists to advance the communist cause and all that. And if that wasn't all, she also during this period developed breast cancer. She developed breast cancer, and she died 2 years later in 1964. However, in 1963, if we could go to the next one, CBS Reports did a 2-part series on Rachel Carson, which really, oh my goodness, defended her scientific method, her work. It really changed public opinion. It really got Congress to move ahead on several pieces of legislation. And you know what? I have some questions about, in those days, CBS report, the legacy of Edward R. Murrow was still really rampant at CBS, thank God. I question whether a major broadcaster would be showing such guts and such determination today, or would buckle under if it was threatened to have its license removed or something like that for publishing the truth. And so, on this Earth Day, I would suggest that we remember and center on location, location, location. Not on some physical or geographic location, but that we center on the location of our spiritual consciousness. Is our spiritual consciousness trending towards despair and victimhood? Or is it centered on a consciousness of grace and grit? Are we acting as keepers of the flame, holding to what we know to be spiritually true? Are we taking part in creative thinking and creative activities that so often emerge during this four-step back periods? Are we asking Spirit, what is mine to do? What is mine to do? And together, are we resoundingly saying, a silent spring? No, not on our watch. Thank you, and God bless. Namaste. Namaste.
Wow, powerful invitation. Thank you, Reverend Rick. So next Sunday, we have a talk entitled Spiritual Gifts, Love in Action by our own Lisa Lawson, and music by Denise Anya and Soul Light Connection. Now, for our newcomers, if you're watching us online, you can go to slcworld.org and click on the Connect button and fill out the card. This will let us know that you are watching us, and we can also keep you informed about the happenings at SLC. And for those of you who are here in person today, in a moment we will ask you to raise your hand and then give you a welcome card to fill out and take to the welcome table that's in the courtyard. And there you'll receive a warm welcome, but also a special gift. So if you're here for the first time, if you could please raise your hand. Okay. Our folks will welcome. Yeah. Awesome. And now, as we prepare for our love offering, you have an opportunity to help support Spiritual Life Center and our mission here. You can text SLC Love to 44321. You can use the QR code, which takes you to the donate button on our website, or go directly to our website and click the donate button. You can also mail in your love offering, and it's kind of back with the newspaper that Karen was talking about earlier. You can actually mail something. And if you're online and want to spread this consciousness, which we recommend, you can click like, comment, share, or subscribe, so any of those work. And now let us prepare for our offering blessing. So together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Whenever my head starts to hurt, before it goes from bad to feeling worse, I turn off my phone, I get down low and put my hands in the dirt. I try to stop the world from moving so fast. I try to get a grip on where I'm at, and I simplify this dizzy life and put my feet in the grass. Yes, I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to the earth. Join us. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. The only explanation for a high rise must be that everybody wants to get high and move on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Well, the higher we go, the taller we grow. We lose sight of the land below. Well, you can have your place up in outer space, 'cause my home is where my food is grown. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to the earth. Yes, I'm going back to the earth. Back to the earth. Back to work. Back to the earth. We are animals. We are animals. We are wild. We are wild. It started with emotion at the bottom of the ocean. Now we're swinging from the tops of the trees. We are animals. We are animals. We are wild. We are wild. And to truly be forgiven, we must all get back to living with the land in harmony. Yes, I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to the earth. Yes, I'm going back to the earth. I'm going back to the earth. Yes, I'm going back to work. Oh, I'm going back to the earth. 2 more times around the world. Back to the earth. Back to the earth. Back to work. Back one more time around the world. Back to the earth. Back to the earth. Back to work. Back to the earth.
Back to our beautiful earth. Dear Spirit, thank you for all the prayers in our prayer box and prayers on people's hearts. Help them to know that overcoming power of Spirit. Dear Spirit, also thank you for all the investments that are made into this ministry of time, treasure, and talent. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. Now we're going to say that wonderful prayer for protection. We're going to sing the peace song. Whoa, you're going to really love the didgeridoo and the music that's going to come at the end of the service. But join us in the courtyard for more fellowship afterwards. So let's say that wonderful prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well.
Swell.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God Thank